Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our penultimate episode for Season 1 of Romance of the Blue Rose. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax, or at DeirdreDonlin on Twitter. Welcome back. We thank you for being here tonight. I'm going to let my fine, wonderful cast of fabulous players go around and introduce themselves and who they are playing. And then we'll see what happens in the aftermath of meeting one, Lady Talis, vampire Regent of Kern. So why don't we start to my right on the overlay. Hey Pooja, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. Excited for these campfire confessions that are about to head our way. Yeah, I mean, we didn't, Trooper mistreat their drink, so I'm excited for Trooper to get a taste of, this party's, insanity when alcohol and stress are involved.
I'm worried.
It'll be great. It'll be fine.
You should be. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And directly under Pooja, hey Alyssa, how's Cecilia doing?
That's a good question. How is Cecilia doing? Well, I think, does that make any sense?
Did the audio skip and I missed the second half of that? I
Nope,
just got the.
nope,
I think,
that's exactly. I think it's Cecilia.exe has stopped processing. We'll reboot the servers in a minute.
And next up, hey Trooper, how's Russ doing?
Oh, Russ is still in action mode. Russ still has work to do. There is still work to do. So Russ is still in action mode. And you gotta keep on keeping on. You gotta suck it up and drive on until you finished action mode. And we still have work to do. So I hope people are not gonna start malingering and hanging about as if it's just fun times when there's still work to do. That's Russ still need to work. Work, not thinking about things, working but not thinking but only about work, not thinking about other things like feelings. Those are things you think about when you finish the work, and then you can think about feelings. But no feelings now.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. We'll see what happens.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, we'll Russ, it's dark.
I have good vision. I've got night vision. I don't. What?
Mm-hmm.
Two legs.
I think.
Yeah.
Technically, Delmy might too. I don't know what.
I think everybody but Cecilia does. I think everyone but Cecilia does.
Oh well, it looks like we're gonna have to stop and talk.
Surprise
anybody.
And then next to Trooper is the fabulous hey Lindy. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fantastic. I've got some delicious leftover chicken tikka masala in my pho bowl, because, it was what was clean and would hold this. And it's delicious. And I'm going to be playing Ritka, who is very much not fine, but it's okay, because she's used to not fine. It's fine.
Indeed. And then last but never least, hey Simon. How's Vishard doing besides cold and wet?
He's a little exhausted. Maybe a little, scared. Because he did see his, life flash before his eyes, basically. Yeah. His resolve might be shaken. I don't know. We're gonna find. I'm going into tonight not knowing where tonight's gonna lead Bashard.
always an interesting place to be with your characters and your story. But I guess we should let everyone know where we left off last week, with an encounter in a clearing beside the lake. You were trying to see if you could rescue a unicorn from the threatening clutches of one Lady Talis, vampire Regent of Kern, loyal second in command to the Lich King himself. But when you arrived, there was no unicorn to be seen. And Lady Talis began with a small conversation that she directed to Ritka, pulling her in, drawing her to herself. And then an attempt was made to fight Lady Talis, which didn't go as well as you had hoped. At one point, however, Vishard ended up bitten, and now is suffering from fang sickness. Next week, he'll be able to try again to see if he can overcome that fang sickness, but right now it is seriously affecting him. And then, without really knowing why, she left you here in the growing dark, in the moonlight, as Vishard stripped down to just his pants and dove into the frigid water of this mountain lake, which is probably at least decently pleasant in the daylight, but by this point it's mountain-fed, cold, late autumn. There was a sight that Ritka saw. A growing mark upon Vishard's skin. And the rest were preparing themselves, I assume, for the night. But I leave it to you all. What would you like to do?
Waiting for Vishard to get finished with his bath.
I mean, it's gonna take a little while, so if anyone wants to do anything in the meantime, I welcome you all to say something.
Ritka wants to cry, but she's not going to because she's been conditioned not to, so that's all.
I'm on watch at the moment. I'm perched up on watch, making sure everybody's safe till, bath time's done.
I think Delme, she was with the puppers, making sure Whisper was okay, and then I think she's gonna, she's gonna ask Cecilia's help and work on setting up camp.
Yeah,
just to keep her hands busy.
I'll go help Delme. Camp and the puppers, though that's not my area normally.
How far is Ritka?
She's probably like on the shore of the lake. Probably just like enough that she could stick her feet in if she wanted to. For a little icy cold.
So while it's just Delme and Cecilia, Delme will ask her, so none of that was okay.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
I'm telling you, that was a lot.
Yes, I agree.
Have you ever been that overpowered before? Like, there wasn't any way we were gonna win that.
No. I really feel very out of my depth at this point with this.
Yeah,
I'm afraid.
yeah. This is like... She was like the regent of a country, and I've come out... I thought like coming out here to learn experience, like gain experience would be like how to negotiate between two farmers disputing over land. Like, this is not what I thought we would be doing. Like, I don't know about you, but I am not experienced enough for any of this. We need help. We need backup. If she comes back, we are, well, fucked.
Yes, to put it that way, yes.
I mean, we still may be, like...
We still very much may be. But I find myself in a very odd position, see. Because not only am I out of my depth, but I am out of my depth in an area that I seem to know well. The fang sickness is a bit beyond my understanding.
So we probably need a specialist for Simon. We need, what, an entire brigade? Sorry, I didn't get
Oh, Simon, the fang specialist.
I mean,
Simon needs a specialist, let me tell you what.
I mean, yes, but...
Vishard. Also, it's because my brain is dead and your display name is your actual name, not Vishard.
Oh.
Sorry, my brain is completely fried tonight. But so we need a specialist for Simon and Vishard, and we need a brigade to go after the crazy vampire lady. And I can't get out of my mind that some random lady named Talia called me knowing who I was. Like,
yes, that does
let's not forget that happened.
No, we have not forgotten that. No, that is just, if you'll recall, it has been quite the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's been a day. I know. But I don't, just to think 2 days ago we were playing, 2 nights ago we were playing Truth or Drink.
Yes, and Vishard got poisoned by unknown magics, which I assume leads us to our friend here.
What's her deal? Like, is she just after Ritka and we are just playthings to dangle in front of her to get Ritka back? Why is she so obsessed with Ritka?
Why is she so obsessed with Ritka? I wonder if...
Hey, Ritka, why is she so obsessed with you?
Tell me there are more delicate ways to ask that question.
Nope.
But all right, well,
we're doing it.
All right. Oh, very well.
Ritka's really, despondent at this time. But I think she does hear her name being yelled, and so she'll give, like, a startled turn towards you guys.
Oh, yes.
Here.
Get up. Walk over. Is
Tell
everything
me-
alright?
We'll pull out her flask, which she did have the presence of mind to refill at the pub before they all went to bed after Truth or Drink. Because, you know what's a great idea when you're drunk? Getting more alcohol.
Getting more alcohol. That's a classic drunk move right there. Can testify.
I know.
Is not Delmay just ready for anything? Ritka... Cecilia's just gonna pat the ground where she's sitting down. She's like, please.
Oh, you want me to sit?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
Here, you probably need/want this? I don't know. I feel like we all need it.
I don't know, but I will... Sure. Just takes a swig and then passes it back.
I would
It's
say it will
better
take
than
the edge
nothing.
off, but I don't think it will. So, we were just talking here about how out of our depth we are and how, we're pretty lucky we got out of that alive, and we were wondering if you think, given your knowledge of giant vampire lady, do you think everything we've been going through has been her trying to get to you?
I don't know. She's definitely a powerful enough cause for the things we were experiencing. And the Skull Knights that Russ was tracking, the timeline adds up to what I heard about from my dad. But she did say something concerning.
Well, what did she say?
She said that the Lich King was not dead.
Oh boy. Well,
Cecilia's gonna just grab the flask from Delmain and just be like, "Oh, good, great, I love that."
well, if that's the case,
Oh, what?
doesn't she have other things to do? Like, why is she out here chasing
Technically,
you?
she would have fewer things to do because she would not be necessarily as in charge. She was his second command, and while there is a council in place, I've heard, since his death, she would most likely be pulling many of the strings. But if he was back, she would be more free to pursue personal interests.
And okay, so let's just recap.
Or maybe she is trying to bring him back and she needs something from all this. I don't know.
Like, other than you and your history with her, we are not important enough for her attention. Like, we're not leaders. We're some of us are nerds. Some of us are just good soldiers. Some are, probably both. But the wild magic, poisoning Vishard in the bar, and everything that's happened since then, are we just, like I was asking Cecilia, are we just playthings for her to mess with to get to you? Why is she so obsessed with you? Did you accidentally take some vial of blood of the Lich King and she needs it back to bring him back, or some, like, what?
No,
I read a lot of books.
Never
back
had any
in
such
court.
thing in my possession. She does like to play with things, and by things I mean mostly people.
Indeed.
See, one of her favorite pastimes. I don't know. I know not many Skull Knights, Knights of the Skull, get to leave Karn. Perhaps that is why she knew, apparently, that I had been posing as my sister, and congratulated me on infiltrating so far into all this, and I don't know what she wants.
She still thinks you're a Knight of the Skull.
I think she is on the fence. I did hit her a lot with my sword, so I don't.
And what? Just
And not in like a flirtatious fashion, because that is a thing in Karn. Like you flirt with duels and such, but that was not what was quite happening there. At least the setup wasn't right for it. And she did ask about you all.
Of course.
And in which order she should kill you in, and I was trying to be not helpful.
Well, thanks
Thinks
for
you're
that.
in too
Dalmay
deep.
takes a swig and hands it to Cecilia.
No, it sounds like she thinks you're in too deep, and not that you're not actually a member of the Knights of the Skull.
Just
I
remind
don't know
us
what she thinks.
how high were you in the Knights before you left?
They don't have many formal rankings. It was everyone is under Lady Talis, and then the staff. They probably had names. But I did serve for 150 years. very diligently.
Okay. So
One could say I was very stalwart.
And treacherous, even.
It's a more recent. That's a more recent thing.
how you define treachery?
Well, when you make promises and say you will do things and then you don't do them intentionally or run
Isn't
away
that
from
what
them.
Skull Knights did a lot.
Well, no, because if you defied orders, you died.
But no, I meant with the people. Like, of course I won't kill you. Haha, just kidding kind of way.
Oh, but no, it was more like, I'm going to kill you, it's more of a matter of when. Or if you can
Oh.
make it to that point before I pull out my sword, I'll let you live.
And you did?
Well, they never made it to that point.
Yes, moot point.
Clearly, we are in our right mind as we're having this conversation.
Yes, everyone is doing so well.
Rick and Delmir, hi.
There was a lot of things that I did as a Knight of the Skull. Here, let me show you something. And she'll take off a bracelet. She always has this bracelet on, like 24/7. You've never seen her take it off, but she takes it off, and there is a brand on her wrist of a skull. And it looks like it's been there for a long time.
What is that?
Every Knight of the Skull has one of these. You are branded when you are initiated. And your armor, well, the mask, the skull mask, it's a direct line to Lady Talis to communicate with her.
Do you still have your mask?
I know where I left it.
So, do you think it would work if, well, I don't know why we'd want to talk to her again, but if
It would work to talk to her, yes.
Well,
When I came across, I buried my armor in a cave.
like,
Anything that could suggest that I was not Revka, essentially.
Oh,
can I
yes.
turn to the water and see if Vishard is just still, like, I don't know, back floating over there? Like, just...
I think as you turn to the water, shirtless Vishard comes out of the water and
Like,
Yeah.
stands.
like
We
a
all
Baywatch
watch.
scene. Yeah.
We all want.
We all just,
We do.
it's like, don't turn around, but
Actually, no, there's no verbal communication. Are you kidding me? It's elbows. It's elbows
girl
and chin
line-
jets.
the girl line is still up, technically. We had it
That's
open.
true. That's true. We are all the girl line.
Actually, but I think it's more of like the very teenage, like, yeah.
Oh, all right.
And he's making
Well-
his way to grab his tunic.
Ritka,
Yeah.
it now almost entirely matches the one on your wrist.
Oh no.
Do we need to make, like, I don't know, wisdom saving throws? Or the equivalent? Watching
Eyeball
Super
checks.
Smash.
I was gonna say, is it possible to, Fashard, if you'll allow me, I can take a look at that a little closer.
We have very much a, like, a
Before you put your
Peggy
shirt back
Carter
on.
and Captain America, like, touch moment, which apparently was entirely improvised.
Yeah.
Wait,
And in that moment, we were all
Something I
going
would do.
down.
have
I
no
know.
idea. Not in script. Not in script. My bad.
If you allow.
Yeah, you're the one person that can actually probably do something about it.
Yes, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. What can I do to examine this thing properly?
Use your eyeballs, or maybe magic eyeballs.
I'm looking for like magic thing that I would
I'll
have.
come help.
You can either use, if you want to look for if you want to examine it magically, it would be second sight. Or just be intelligence healing.
I can do second sight.
Yeah, I have so much. I'll use the intelligence healing. Why not? Although, maybe I don't. Maybe it's entirely possible that instead...
Well, I mean, it's a 10.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's a 10.
It is a 10 because it didn't give you your focus bonus, but it is a 10.
Yes, but like, let's look at those snake eyes and see. There's clearly other things.
But you also
They give
don't
you
have
3 stun points.
but also
true.
you don't have that fatigue anymore because we have rested.
Oh, I did forget.
Have we rested yet?
It's only like 5 minutes. Like you only
We're
like
resting.
A short rest to get rid of 1 level of fatigue is 5 minutes. So
Okay.
yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I definitely
Woo.
think we just
We did chatting and drinking for
So 11.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
actually
so
it's
11.
11.
So,
But I am
here's-
going to look
so
for the step points.
It's
So
okay. I'm gonna tell you what you find out, and then you can find something else out from beyond there. Cecilia, when you examine this and you now see it, you didn't see it when you healed Vishard the first time because his shirt was still on. But now you're looking at it, it looks like a brand, and it looks almost identical to the one that's on Ritka's wrist. It also looks old and healed. It's not blistering, it's not cut, the skin around it
I
isn't
don't like that.
hot or to the touch. It isn't, there's no skin broken. It looks like it's healed over well. Delme, with second sight, you see that this brand is getting darker slowly, and that it almost, there's this small string, gray-ish, of light that ties to Ritka's wrist and then goes out into the darkness unseen. That connects the brand on Vishard's clavicle to the one on Ritka's wrist, and then further out beyond to the darkness, and just kind of stop, keeps going, but you can't see where.
So I think we know how she found us. That brand, and she just points at Vishard quickly. Not inert. There's a connection out there, just into that. Did she brand you by biting you, Ritka?
I don't think that's how it happened. Or is that?
You can roll. Ooh, I know exactly.
Because it was a long time ago, but
It
she'd
was.
remember
It was
that.
a
Because
very
that was a big moment for her, though, because
It
she
was a very
passed
big
the
moment for you.
initiation, so she'd probably remember that.
It wasn't the bite. You don't remember a bite at the time. You remember cutting your wrist
Yeah.
and pouring blood into the chalice. You remember her taking your wrist and then branding over the cut you had made.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember both her and the Lich King drinking from the chalice.
She'll relay that. Like, that's not how. No. That's not the bite. It is this. Because that's way better.
that's so much better.
Did she brand you with like a metal brand, like a classic style, or?
Yes.
So, then how?
I'm going to assume the blood.
The blood can look like. Vishard probably has.
Blood has
figured out
power.
what we're looking at. Yeah, but to look the same as a,
Well, she
Cattle brand
had
kind of brand?
drank my blood
Mm.
and had bit a shard, and there was the ceremonies. I don't know. I don't use much magic. I don't know how it all works.
Maybe the cattle brand thing for you was for show.
Possibly.
But-
And to mark territory, obviously.
Oh.
We're gonna need to sever that
Yes.
connection. Also, it's amazing we didn't see it until now. Maybe because it was covered.
Exactly, because it was covered.
Bracelet over the room.
When she puts
Don't
the
think
bracelet over the brand, you now that you know what to look for, you can kind of see the string that's out there, but it's hidden. And if you didn't know to be specifically looking for it, then it would get lost in just the general aura that is
Yeah.
Ritka.
That's curious. What's your
Certainly
bracelet
not
made
staring at your wrist, typically, so...
Leather
Suppose.
and studs. Metal.
of? Metal. I don't know. Or maybe we just weren't looking hard enough.
The first thing I noticed about Ritka was her. I did not look at her and go, "My, what lovely wrists you have." It's not my first move.
Maybe you're the weird one here. I'm just kidding.
Now really, Delmay.
Listen, we've been through a lot.
Yes, gallows humor indeed.
Vishard,
Yeah.
how are you feeling?
GM, is the bite doing anything special? Like, do I feel a burning sensation or
You
an
feel
itch or something?
you feel not from the bite itself. You feel a sense of general malaise, fatigue. That the short rest got rid of the one standard level of fatigue, but fang sickness level of -1 to every roll, which is effectively a fatigue, that doesn't go away. That it feels different, and you know somehow that it's not like normal exhaustion. You also feel like a grayness in your thoughts. And the brand, as it sits right under your clavicle, right under where that bite was, feels roll me perception.
Ivan.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's good enough. Remembering there's a whole list of what the TNs are stuff. So this was an easy one. There's a sense of rawness in that brand. It's still new, even though it looks like it's healed over. And that sense of grayness in your thoughts, but anytime you think about that brand, there's a sense of comfort that it provides. The grayness in your thoughts slowly dissipate.
I'd like to make an attack roll, please.
Okay, Russ, who are you attacking?
I'm gonna just peck that brand. I've got a beak.
Ow.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
That's not...
swoop down, hover, peck at it. I'm gonna peck at it.
You're not a
Hover-
hummingbird, you can't hover. I'm sorry. That's just not how.
Well, then I'll
bird
just swoop
physics
down
work.
and swipe by, do a
I mean,
flyby.
you can like just full on peck, go in, charge for it, or
I
fly
want
by.
to
just
disrupt
can't hover.
the lines.
Hmm.
because I've just been listening to this entire conversation because they weren't doing it psychically. They were just saying these things out loud, and I was like, I don't, no.
Okay, Russ. Are you okay with this, Simon?
Well, I mean, come at me, bro.
I'll come at you. My goal is to disrupt the lines of the brand as opposed to like murder him, you know. As if
It's your goal, but he's fragile right now.
I got a beak. I've got precision. I can do lock picking with my beak.
Should be gentle.
Well, the beak. We can call. I'm gonna bite you. Just I don't like the lions. They seem distressing to me. There's a whole discussion of like.
So I mean.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's a skull wrapped in thorns and with crowned and really pointy, like picture Sauron.
I, by the way, have aimed because I want to hit right underneath that clavicle, just right in there, just a, I'm hoping for a kind of a surface level flyby.
Are you attempting to defend yourself, Vishard?
I don't think I know he's going to do that.
I'm in from the night.
Okay.
I'm the Batman.
So, make your attack roll.
I thought you're Hawkman.
I am the Hawkman. I'm the Hawkman. 18 plus 5 stunt points.
Does the 18 hit?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. You're not wearing your armor at the moment, so that's not going to happen.
He's shirtless.
No, but even without my armor, because of Hero's armor, I have an armor rating of 2 if I'm naked.
Yeah, so you have 2.
Oh my.
Roll your damage then, Russ.
I will use Pierce Armor. That stunt. Because I will do that. And I really just want to do artificial surface damage to sort of disrupt the I don't want to like pierce into his heart like the Snow Queen or some such. I just don't like this thing, and I just want to. It's like a little bit of a flyby. It's a little flyby. It's not a lot of damage. Don't worry about it. 2 with a piercing the armor. So 1.
Oh.
What
the hell, Ross?
That's not a normal medical procedure, Rush.
What happens to me? Because Russ is like, I bet if I disrupt this, something bad will happen to me. Because I feel like we need to have a conversation about this. So I'm ready for it. It's just like 1 point of damage. Just 1 point. I'm ready for it. Just like from the top of the trees where I've been perching, and just listen to this whole conversation about branding and blood drinking and a lot of conversations going on that are distressing, and then like let me
You're
check out
asking questions, I'm giving answers. That's all that's happening.
And then there's like, here's this brand and here's my brand, and there's like all of that going on that seems a little like I don't like this. And so I just like swoop down out of the night like a hawk, because I am a Rhyhawk, and I just like do a swoop by, and then like rake my beak like in a downward slash, right? Just like, and it's just like very precise. Just
Vishard,
Yeah, no, ow.
can you roll a Constitution Stamina? You need a 15.
It's a little flyby. Excitement right there.
Where if you give me salmonella from this?
Yes, I just ate a squirrel.
Well, that's a
Salmonella
10.
it is.
Of all the diseases to get from a bird peck,
Vishard, Russ does his flyby and peck. There's a moment of like paper cut level, but it's not even really enough damage to cause you to bleed. But you feel that brand pulse for a moment. And then your thoughts become slightly grayer. Why did Russ try to harm you. You're friends, aren't you? I mean...
Yeah, I don't know why.
And this mark is not really that big a deal. It's the same one that Ritka has, and you're friends with Ritka, and these are... And it provides you comfort, right? Connection? Family, even. When was the last time you had a family, Vishard?
Right before Delmay left.
Russ wants to take your family away.
Russ, what the fuck?
I caw, because we're not in psychic contact at the moment, dramatically as I sort of swoop back up. And, like, I'm kind of like just circling to see what I can see about how this brand is, how it's doing. How is it doing?
You mean my brand?
Yeah, your brand. I'll make a little psychic
It's on
eyeball.
brand.
Do a little psychic eyeball on that one. I want to see, because I've come down to swoop on it because I care about those things, and I'm gonna look at it. It's a 19 with some stunts, and I think I'll do an immediate. I can see what you see to do a regular eyeball on that one, so I get the 2 for the price of 1. Perception is 20.
With the perception seeing, what you see, first of all, is that you realize that your beak did not do anywhere near as much damage as it should have, and it didn't really do any scratch damage, even though you tried really hard. There's no blood, no marks. And perception psychic. There's something there, but you can't figure it out. In this, I'm going to tell you mechanically, Trooper, this is the difference between perception psychic and second sight. So, like, you might know that there's something there, but you don't know what it is and you can't identify it because you can't actually see it.
I might open a psychic channel with Russ and try to get to the gang together to get Russ's take on things for his words and not just his cawing and beaking at people. Ask him what he is attacking Bouchard really the answer, Russ?
Cecilia?
I don't know if cutting it is going to do any good. It's got some kind of magic attached to it.
Oh, hey, GM, did I have to roll something for like a blowback for that?
No.
Because it almost seemed like you were going to say that I had to, and I was like, I didn't want you to forget if you were going to give me.
I was afraid I was gonna have to roll some.
I was like, when I get some blood poisoning for that, I just want to make sure you didn't forget because we didn't distract you.
You didn't draw any blood, so.
No, Russ, it did nothing to you.
Cecilia.
The DM says that like we wanted it to.
No, because it did something to Bouchard.
Because it obviously hurts it hurts one friend and not the other.
Yeah. Cecilia, I don't like it. I'm supposed to.
Well, I don't like it either, but I don't know if attacking it is certainly the answer.
Well, I don't have a scalpel. It's not like I can use some kind of opposable thumb to try to disrupt its pattern.
I don't know if it can be disrupted physically, though. Without a specific set of books to actually look and do some actual knowledge-based, evidence-based practice here, but I'm going with my gut and saying that just chomping at it is not going to disrupt its connection.
Why don't you take a look at it?
I am taking a look at it.
Look at it now, right now, after it should be bleeding. It's not even bleeding.
feeling a little distraught to be told how to do my job. I think Cecilia will do a second swing.
Vishard is putting his tunic back on. He's
Hold on. And she's gonna like put her hands on his chest, like 1 second.
No, there's no need to resort to such drastic measures.
Like putting on a shirt.
If you're cold, we'll get you a robe because we need to be able to see the brand.
Yes, that's what we want to see.
Okay, that's more the role I was looking for the first time.
Oh, and then you can use just those 5 to up your score.
Yeah, and then
21?
16.
Because she can use that 5.
8. No,
As a-
because stunt point.
Yeah, she can use the stunt points to increase her, because it's like Arcana.
Mhm.
So she can make that at 21 if she wanted to.
With Arcana, you can use stun points to make it bigger for certain arcane reasons.
Cool.
Which I think is
So-
a good use of it in this case, because otherwise,
Maximum of 4, so you could
maximum
make that
of 4.
so
so
20.
make it a 20 and then
So-
have just one to brag about it.
16. Yeah, maximum 20. Vishard, when you look at Vishard, you look at this brand, and now you see that line of thread, perhaps, leading out and away, one that connects to Ritka, and one out and away further that kind of just, it doesn't, you can't keep following it. It stops at a certain point, beyond into the darkness.
But
And
it's
it-
safe to assume it's Lady Talis. That's the connection.
Perhaps. It's also less gray. It's just a hint redder. There's color beginning to bleed through it.
I think I'm going to just Rishka, your brand really fast. What color is it?
Just show it to you. Just take the bracelet off again.
Is hers the same kind of color?
It's gray. There's a barest hint of pink right close to the thread. That level of salmon.
Vishard, I don't think you're going to. I don't think you're going to answer this question that I'm going to ask you, so I don't think you'll answer it out loud. Would you permit me, for the sake of the brand, to go into your mind? I want to see something.
Cecilia, before you do, I had a thought.
Very well.
Part of my job is a courier of information, and I was, supposed to figure this about a time for me to go and connect our great leader here with the first envoy, but a little bit concerned about doing that if it's not secure.
Oh, that's what I think, but I mostly.
So I'm just saying, if you're going to go into his brain, I'm just concerned it's not secure. So just be careful. I don't want anything to happen to you.
I'm not looking. And she'll look at Vishard as she's saying this so that he knows she's serious.
Mhm.
I'm not looking for you to unveil anything about yourself that you are not willing to share. This is mostly just, I want to see if there's something this brand is making you see or feel. That's all. And I'm not looking to get anything out of you or fix you or any of that. Well, I am trying to fix you, but not in the way you're thinking. Normally when we have these sorts of questions.
Just be careful, Cecilia. That's all. What if there's a trap or something? Snare.
Well, that is the risk of medicine after all.
Would you like me to check instead?
No. This is what my studies have all been leading to.
All right, if you did not want to take the risk.
Although all of that was just between Cecilia and Russ, because Cecilia and Russ are in a two-person at the moment.
Okay. Well, she did say that part, the out loud part to Vishard.
Yeah.
So
I need you to let me do this.
Yeah.
Like, would you let me? Yeah. So
Yes, I need your consent as my patient.
Russ is not saying anything about secret traps in the minds of somebody who might have a secret trap in them. Just noting it. Just noting it. Of which there are two people here.
Before I consent to anything, Cecilia, why do you say you're going to need to go into my mind if I'm not going to answer those questions?
Because I don't.
Do you not trust me?
It's not that I don't trust you. And she really hasn't let her hands off his chest either. She's just left her hands there. It's
jealous.
It's not that I don't trust you. It's I don't know if the brand will let you.
I remember the connection wire I talked about. There's something going on.
I don't want you to have to feel like you can't. And I have a theory that perhaps it wouldn't let you. And I could maybe see if the line has something else to it.
So tonight's session becomes everyone takes a jaunt into Vishard's mind.
Haven't done yet. Maybe.
I mean, I'm all for it.
Allow Delmy in
Technically, nobody knew Rika could do that until now, so that's a fun reveal. Hey, mind delving! Woo!
Yes, but something tells me that you normally don't ask people for their consent.
That would be sorcery, Cecilia.
Rick
Sorcery. Who
never
does
done
that?
sorcery.
It's almost like I was tasked with retrieving information from people by whatever means necessary at some point in my life.
I can mind read, not delve.
Yeah.
See, the one I need, if I just had a little more power in psychic, would be mind shaping to try to cut the connection, but I don't think that's how that works. I don't have that yet.
I almost took that one, and then I decided
I need another level up in psychic before I could take it.
Yeah.
That's why we
All
have
right.
the delving. But the task at hand.
Okay. Vishard is gonna lie down on his bedroll. You know, in case my legs give out or something.
Good idea. The little illustration in the book has the person standing behind with their fingers on their head. I think that's
Nice.
Cecilia's gonna kneel down in that much the same way as behind him and just sort
I'm
of.
actually kind of curious. While this is happening, well, Cecilia gets ready for that. Delme will ask Vishard, is it okay if I help? I'm not going to go as deep as Cecilia, but if there's something more surface level, we can go at two different depths, I think. If that's okay with you. Mine will be less intrusive.
I think Vishard would reach out to grab Delme's hand if she lets him.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And will say, with a little wink, Delme, you're always welcome in my thoughts.
Oh, you're a sweetheart. Now let's see if your actual thoughts match what she say. And I think Delme's gonna try mind reading so that she can hear Vishard's thoughts while Cecilia's in there asking questions.
Hmm.
So she'll get
Bashard's
to...
thinking about baseball.
Baseball, the sport that's been invented in Aldous.
Yeah, basically,
Great
I
game.
can hear your thoughts. I can hear your thoughts in my mind. If I succeed in this. All right, so we're going in together. A team.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, mind building.
Roll.
I need a roll from both of you.
Yep.
And I mean, unless I somehow need to for some reason, like, I'm letting them.
It just means that it's not sorcery. And now
Uh-huh.
it's not rolling.
Hmm.
7, 8, 11. There's no opposed. You're not opposed, so it's surface delving is fine. 6, 10, 4, 14. Ooh. Delme.
Mm-hmm.
You brush his surface level thoughts. It is... Well, what is your surface level thought at the moment, Vishard?
He's scared about the bite. I wouldn't have made... It wouldn't have been that big a deal. Except that now everyone's freaking out about it. What more, it seemed to have driven Russ, who's a being of light, to try something drastic and almost nonsensical. And now Vishard's thinking, am I being corrupted? Because Rye folk can sense it. And he's a little scared. But at the same time, he's trying to put on a brave face. And one last thought is, it's getting cold. I really can't wait to put my clothes back on.
Delme, in response to this litany of very appropriate thoughts in terms of just jumping around and being like, "Ooh, I'm also kind of chilly." Nipping out over here, buddy. What's going on? Wrap this up. She's just gonna take her other hand and put it on top of Vishard's and give it a squeeze. Just, she doesn't want to talk or derail his thoughts, but she just wants to reassure him that she's there with him.
And I think Russ will call forth a purifying light to fill this area as a sort of form of protection while this work is happening. And just sort of like on the branch where he's at, he will sort of make a caw, and then sort of like emanating from him will be sort of like a warm golden light that sort of fills the area for about 30 meters, in up to 30 meters across diameter. So like this, like the whole area that would sort of envelop all of them.
Whisper will come up and just walk in a little circle next to Vishard and plop down, like her rump up against his side, looking outwards, watching it, just letting him know that she's got his back too.
Cecilia.
She just said to BRB.
Oh yeah, sorry. She just sent it. Sorry, it just popped up.
No worries.
Which is good.
Well, there would be then
Oh, there she's back.
another thought. The moment that Delme puts her hand on Vashard's. And Vashard is trying very freaking hard not to think about it. But the moment she touches him, he immediately thinks back on that moment when, Delme and her family left in their cart the village in the woods.
Delme just squeezes his hand harder. But not like knuckle breaking hard. She's not a strength person.
Cecilia.
Yep.
You're delving through his mind.
Yeah. That is. I'm mostly looking to see how this brand connects to his mind and what it's doing to him that way.
You go past his surface level thoughts. You leave that to Delme. Deeper into the recesses of his mind. You're looking for a particular thing, so you're not stopping, really, to see. You connect to this brand. You see it. It's a mark. But it's also a door. A connection. Pinpoint. And it connects outward. And it's not currently doing anything to Vashard's mind. It's just there.
But threat assessment, it's probably dangerous.
Ritka, what are you doing? Russ is glowing with a bright golden light. Vashard is lying on his back. Delme's holding his hand, and Cecilia's got her hands in his hair, in his skull.
Oh, what's she doing? Self-flagellation. No, she's not to that point yet. She's not doing super awesome right now. She doesn't want to go too far in case the group needs her, but I think she'd go back to the lake bank, the bank of the shore, and just have thoughts, about things. I'm putting a lot of notes in my notebook.
Does she leave the golden circle of holy joy and loveliness that people of corruption are sort of forced to leave?
How big is the holy circle?
30 meters.
Then probably not. That's a big...
30 feet. 30 feet across.
Okay, well...
So 10 meters.
10 meters. Okay, let me get the map, because she's not intentionally... she's not trying to lead like, oh, the light.
It's just that one of the effects is that if you are a problematic creature, you have to leave.
Yeah, well, she'd probably also be like, she'd probably have been there for a moment and then, like, walked over to the lake again, which is still within range if you're over by the campfire, so she'd still be in there. And she'd probably just kind of, like what Vashard did, and just take off some armor and stuff and just, like, splash her face. She's trying to get very cold. She wants that shock of the cold water.
Yes, so she's not leaving the light. But that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And right now...
Very deep in thought.
Mm-hmm. But there's nothing else, Cecilia.
How's it
If
going?
if I touch that door in his mind,
Mm.
I assume bad things will happen.
Something will happen.
I want to examine it. I don't necessarily want to disrupt it or knock on the door or anything, but I do want to take a look at it. Like a much the mind delving second sight, I guess.
And I'll say at this moment that, because it's been a bit of a moment, Cecilia, how's it looking in there?
I don't know
Because
if
you can have more than one arcana up at the same time.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can have a connection. I think I have to keep the...
Mind delving is
Have
pretty
psychic
intense.
contact with Vashard to mind delve. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because she.
I
think I would have had to
she's-
drop
yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
keep
okay.
that
with
keeps
Vashard.
that line occupied, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will, I guess is it second sight then to still be this deep in?
I mean, if you want to try and examine the door arcana with Arcanum, second sight of what you see, but I mean, mind delve is the search, right? If you want to try and if you see something that's strange and you want to know more about it, I would say it would be second sight.
Yeah, the door is what's hanging me up because I feel like it's something with this door. There's like nothing else around that I can see. So I want to have that extra door. Extra door.
Wait, would you say
9,
Mordor?
10.
Oh, nobody says anything about Mordor. You certainly just can't fly to Mordor.
One simply cannot. One cannot simply.
You are examining this with second sight. And there's a darkness, just shadow around the whole thing. And it's not seeping into Vashard's mind. But ever so slightly, it's like the door moves closer. Just a little bit closer.
If I like in his mind, I'm like kind of poke the door.
Delmay, I need you to roll me a d10. It not working for you?
Wait, who were you talking to me?
Yeah, I was talking to you, Pooja, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my headphones did cut in and out, and so I was just like, "What's happening?"
No, it's okay. I need you to roll me a d10.
Oh, okay, sure thing. 9.
Cool.
It's either good or bad.
It's a bit of both in this case.
Oh,
Ritka,
Yes.
you feel something poking at your mind.
Do I?
I need everyone to make a willpower self-discipline roll, please.
Okay.
Me too.
Yes.
everyone gets a +1 from me, but not me. As I glow.
God, that's an awful roll.
So a 15 for me.
A 15 for me plus.
That figures for Ritka right now, though.
Oh,
I'm
is it
so
RP stunts?
That's a 10 for me.
What are the
9.
stunt points in this roll? Is it RP?
In this roll, it would be... It's really not gonna help you.
Okay, never mind.
12 for me.
Still
9. I rolled the number that Delme rolled.
Yeah.
Ready to stunt
Yeah.
point for Bon Mott with a witty remark?
Twins.
No, that's true.
I mean, you can make a witty remark. Witty remarks are a free action. But
Ooh, I
here-
love witty remarks.
Here's what happens. Cecilia, you touch this door. Ritka, you feel something poking at the side of your mind. Delme, you and Vishard feel jointly this brush of power roll through you. Russ, you feel this wave go out from Delme and Vishard and Cecilia, encompassing the whole area. It doesn't feel like shadow. I mean, there's shadow there, but it's not the cause or the overwhelming amount. It's wild. It's uncontrolled.
Some sort of wild magical vibe.
Like a wave of it comes crashing over all of you. Cecilia, you're forced out of Vishard's mind. But Ritka,
Yeah, what about me?
you are in Vishard's mind.
Oh, no.
And Vishard, you and Ritka know you are in your own mind because you are in a memory of yours. That first time you met Revka.
Oh. Well, the second time?
No.
Oh, Red
OG
Cuts.
Red
I'm
Cut.
watching this for the first time. Oh,
And Delme, as you're still in this surface connection, you see this wave of memory pass by, but you can't focus on it. You're not deep enough in to really see what's going on. And
But
Russ,
I would hear Vishard's reactions to it.
you will hear Vishard's reactions to it,
Yeah.
to whatever happens. Russ, after this wave of wild magic passes you by, you see out of the corner of your eye, Manfrey has gotten up and walked over to you and is staring across the lake at something in the moonlight.
I will look, but I have to keep my concentration up to keep the purifying light up. I will look, though, to see what Manfrey is staring at.
There is a unicorn, and so anyone who's been around horses knows that there is this level of horse body language where they're judging you and you're falling wanted that they just kind of give you as they look at you. That's the look you're getting from this unicorn.
To our group,
No. To you.
Specifically.
that I am failing. I see.
No, it's not that failing look. No, it's the asshole, you woke me up, I was tired, what the fuck is going on look.
Haha,
Like,
that look. I give that look frequently to all sorts of delivery people.
you know, like
At
like
11
that
a.m..
that look your dog gives you when, like, you're like, okay, it's time to go out, and he's like, no, I'm chilling. This is my son.
Cats
what are
too.
you doing? Yeah, exactly. That look. That, like,
We gotta get up
you're being
now.
a-
And they're like,
yeah, exactly. You're that bright golden beacon in the night, and you be shiny at the moment.
I
But
think
Vishard,
seeing an actual unicorn would break my concentration because that's like an actual unicorn.
my bad.
Like not like oh no, unicorn's irritated, so I should drop it. But we're like, oh my god, unicorn, and then of course,
Yeah.
Yeah.
concentration just goes immediately, like poof, the light drops.
So, if I'm in Vishard's mind, and Vishard knows I'm in his mind, and I know I'm in his mind, can I convey anything to him?
I mean, you both are kind of watching this scene of
Okay.
Vishard meeting Revka for the first time
Cool.
play out.
Guess we'll just watch then. Where's the
But from
popcorn?
Vishard's perspective, I mean, you could try to talk to him. If
I'll
you
wait.
wanted.
Maybe. Just, yeah, I'll wait. Like, because it's awkward.
Can you describe this scene?
Yes, tell me. What was it like meeting my sister?
The first time I met Revka,
Mm-hmm.
Time she broke your...
so yeah, we'll rewind a few minutes before the broken leg.
Gotcha.
And Russ
and,
is there because he's watching the fight. In memory, Russ.
In memory, yeah.
No,
In memory,
Russ,
Russ, yeah.
You were there for my fight, as posing as Rivka with Vishard. Oh no,
No,
you
no.
did because you hired her. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you were at that fight. I'm just making sure. It's so complicated.
I was at the
Sorry.
original fight with the
the
original
Parent Trap.
Revka.
Yeah, so it would be like a few minutes prior to the fight. I think it would be just Vishard and Russ walking through a path in the Pavan Weald and
Rush on your
stumbling
shoulder,
on-
probably, right? Because I can't walk.
Yeah,
really.
no, that makes sense. And stumbling upon Revka, who Revka was living with Cool Dad, who's Yaromir,
Nice dad. Yeah.
my dad. And so we were not too far away from Yaromir's cabin, the place where we went 60 years ago. Shit. Continuity. And she's there and she's basically like sparring by herself, training with the mace. And Bashard to look at Russ and say, she's not bad. Could use some improvement.
Not bad at all.
And Vash would walk forward and call out to her. Basically ask her what she's doing there. She lives around here. He's never seen her in the Pavan Wheel before. And ask her if she wouldn't mind sparring together.
And
Give you a bit of a challenge.
Russ, as is custom, would announce himself. I am Russ, the Ryhawk, because it is considered rude not to let people know, two-legged people know that you are Raiden, because it's considered rude. Like, you have to announce yourself psychically to people all the time so they don't think that you're just a regular animal and not Raiden, and then feel like you fooled them. So, it's custom. It's what they do.
She kind of smiles, takes her hand and throws her hair back, pulls it back. It's shorter than Ritka's. And she's kind of like, well, I've been here for a number of years. I don't know where you thought I would be coming from, but I lived here my entire life. So yes, a spar would be fine. But what are we betting?
Damn it, she did have a gambling problem.
How about a month's wage of the Sovereign's finest?
Well, that's very rich money. All right. Let's dance.
And- Don't worry, he says as he draws his blade. I'll go easy on you.
Russ flaps up and like circles, finds a perch.
She pulls her mace and just smirks at you. I'll try and do the same thing too. Wouldn't want to scar your pretty face.
I'll make sure not to scar yours either.
Two-leggeds.
Let's have a little fun then. What happens in this fight, Vashard?
Well, the short of it is, I'm hurt by the end. I think the way it happened is, so basically they're sparring, and it's not so bad. Like there's a bit of like pushing and shoving, but nothing comes to like actual blows or anything. And at some point, Bashard's leg sort of slips from under him and goes wide, like past shoulder width. And he doesn't bring his blade down quick enough. And she basically hits him, like, not behind the knee, but like, you know, like that tendon, right? Like you've got two of them.
ACL?
Well, it's not the ACL because the ACL is under there. Yeah, that would be where the ACL connects to the thigh bone, basically. And she would hit with the tip of the mace right there. He basically puts his like blade down, stabs the ground with it, and uses it to keep himself up. Winces from the pain, but does so, you know, his face away from Revka, and just says, "All right, yeah. You win. That was amazing."
You're not so bad yourself.
You know, I was pulling my punches. Next time, you better watch out.
All right. Come on, let me get you a drink. You've earned it.
Maybe medical help?
No, I'm good. And with every step, Vashard would just be like, ow. Ow. Ow.
So
Trying as much as possible to not let it show.
And I think Russ would say, you could get Sovereign's finest pay from this one because he owes it to you, or you could earn it yourself.
No, I haven't done that yet.
Helps the land, helps the people. Fight Shadow.
Let's talk more over drinks, my friend. I think I like this story. At least, on occasion. And as this memory fades of this meeting between Vashard and Revka, Ritka, you and Vashard are in his mind watching. But your reaction will have to wait until we come back from break.
Oh!
So go ahead, get yourself something to refresh yourself, get some snacks, see how things are going, and we'll be back in like 8 minutes. Hope everybody's still feeling okay.
I'm gonna get popcorn. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I got some popcorn.
That's a good plan.
I'm gonna get my dinner.
I'm gonna just get some popcorn. I'm gonna microwave it. It'll be good.
We'll see you in a few, everybody. and welcome back. We hope you are refreshed. You have some beverages. Apparently Vishard has gone full emo.
Apparently?
I can barely see.
There we go. But we're gonna pick up where we left off. Ritka and Vishard, you just saw this memory play out.
In your mind's eye. And now I get the feeling that it's like we're just awkwardly hanging out here in his brain space. Ritka will be like, I'm sorry. I did not. I don't know how I am here right now.
What's going on?
I don't know. I was
Cecilia?
washing my face, and then I was watching all that.
Is it possible for me to attempt to get back in?
What are Vishard's thoughts right now that Del making here?
There was a big old
Cecilia,
wave of
you're not there.
chaos.
We're gonna get to where you are in a minute.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, Vishard, what are you thinking?
What are your surface thoughts at this moment?
I am confused.
Okay.
Confusion. It's a good one. Classic.
As in, like, very confused. What the hell is going on around here?
Are you thinking about Ritka?
Well, Ritka is right here with me. So I'm
Okay, so-
thinking about her in the sense that she's right there, and I'm wondering what she's doing here.
Okay. Delme will immediately glance up towards where she last saw Ritka.
Face down in the lake, drown. I don't know. I
Well,
Yeah,
you've kind of
Drifting
collapsed at the
away.
you've collapsed at the side of the lake,
Okay, cool.
but you're
Good.
not in the water.
I'm not floating face down. That's great. Okay. Just it was a thought I had during the break, but I didn't want to mention it.
Yeah.
Washing face. No, to collapse to the side. Cool. Yeah, so that's what Ritka is. Ritka's collapsed by the shores of the lake.
Christ. Okay.
It's fine. It's good. I don't know how or why I am here, but I am sorry. I did not intend to be here and see that. That was your memory.
Of the person I thought was you.
Yes, of my sister, Bravka.
Yeah.
I'm also sorry in general. I did not mean for any of this to happen to you.
Well, I don't believe you could have meant anything. It wasn't you.
Maybe I should have just avoided the group once we found out that Lady Talis was around. Then she would not have known about you all.
No, you're part of the finest.
Well, Revka was. I've just been stealing her shoes.
And doing exactly what the finest do. In my book, that makes you a finest. However strange way you got mixed up with us, you still did the work.
This is true.
I also have to apologize.
For what? You've done nothing wrong.
Thinking you were a traitor because of your Kurnish heritage.
Well, I am a traitor. I betrayed Kern.
No, I meant. Look, when you. Russ and I, what we did during the war, like. There's only so many ways that you can try to rationalize what's happening. While many, if not all, of the people that we fought were at the beck and call of the Lich King, starting to think that it might not have been all of them. It's just easier to go to sleep at night when you think that no one you've killed had a family awaiting them back home.
I could see that. It's not a very Kernish line of thinking, but I've come to understand the way people view certain things here and all this.
You mean thinking life is important?
Yes, and even if you were a certain rank in Kern, or if you had certain jobs, all the better if they had family back home. It was very... Information is very tightly controlled there. Different ways of thinking are not encouraged or appreciated, so many people just do not know what it is like outside of Kern. I did not know what it was like outside of Kern, except for what I had been told. Until I saw for myself.
How do you like all this?
It is different. Very different. I would say less stressful. You are not wondering if the people you know are plotting to stab you in the back or planning something against you, or that something you say might be taken as a slight, which might get you killed or punished. There are certain things I miss in Kern, but that is mostly my father. But it's just two very different ways of thinking, and it was a lot to process when I came here. I've learned that not everything I was taught or told was true, and well, from what you have said, it seems that perhaps the same is of some people in all this.
Perhaps I have yet to actually go to Kern.
It is not nearly as scenic. If you like green things. Which I know you do.
What makes you say that?
I thought you very much enjoyed the Pavan Weald, the forest. Kern's a lot drier. A lot less wildlife.
And another lack of Raiden.
Yes, that's too. Wyverns, though, so you know that is the wildlife you do not typically see here in all this.
I don't think I'd like to encounter wyverns.
Probably not. You probably do not want to see many things that are in Kern, or that happen in Kern. I am. If we had to see any memories, I am. glad that they were of yours and not of mine. I do not think you would like many of mine.
Well, there's always time to make new, better memories.
This is true.
And with that, the camera's gonna pull back from Ritka and Vishard for a moment. Because the connection between them is fading, softening. There's a haze in Ritka's perception, slowly. Cecilia, a moment ago you were in Vishard's memories, staring at this door that you knew tied to the brand on his chest.
Sure did.
And as you reached out to touch it, you felt something, this wave of arcanum, flow through you. And you look around. You're not in Vishard's memories. You're in your own.
Oh no. Where did I end up?
It's a sunny day. You see Master Soot, the crow Raiden, who is the lead lecturer of medicine at the Royal College. It's his annual first-year introductory lecture as he begins the comparative discussion of anatomy between Raiden, humans, Vatan, night people, and sea folk. It's always engaging. He takes pleasure in his apprentices and training them. It is a good memory, at least at the beginning. But then the door opens in the back, and a young apprentice dressed in Mediarius whites with the blue engraving and embroidery of the Sovereign's finest comes in and asks Master Soot, I need Cecilia Valent. Master Raoul says he needs her assistance.
I think she just slumps in her. She just remembers slumping. Never one to slump in her seat or try to make herself small in a lecture. This is that moment.
There's a nod of Master Soot from his perch as he just kind of glances over a class. And of course it's a psychic lecture because he's a crow. And he merely says, Apprentice Valiant, you're apparently needed elsewhere. We will continue this later. I look forward to seeing you in my, if you have any questions, at my office hours.
Yes, sir. And she'll just gather up the notebook where she was taking like the very detailed notes and just starts putting all of her things together and glasses up and follows the apprentice.
Down the hall, up the stairs, to a small office. But it's a corner, and it's a turret. Large windows open out, looking out over the city. And the palace of the Sovereign. A figure stands staring down at this palace his back to you, framed in the light of the window. What does he look like, Cecilia?
Well, where Cecilia is, very, very short and slender, Raul is very tall, also rather slender. He got our mother's side of the family is just a very freckly little bunch, and he got just tons of them, which would be kind of upsetting, but it makes him look really cute. And he's like if you didn't know who he was, you would just think he was the most adorable, sweet man you've ever met. And it's, always with the slick back, very nice hair. There's not anything about him that looks out of place ever. They have, Cecilia and him both wear the same kind of half moon glasses because they're both tragically vision impaired.
He waits for the door to close and the apprentice to leave, and then he turns to look at you, and there's just this hint of malice in his eyes.
You sent for me?
The Mediarius, sister. That is where you're joining?
Yes, I feel that it is the best use of my talents and time to learn about ways in which to help and heal those that are in need.
Who are you to make determinations about the best use of your talents or time?
Well, sir, you weren't here when I was... You had been away when the choice time came, and I... Well, it's what I wanted. And...
You don't get to choose what you want, Cecilia. That's not how this family works, and you know it. But, since I cannot remove you from this choice, your other lessons shall be deepened. If you desire to work with the mind, I have ways to help you learn to work with the mind even better.
I don't need an experiential lesson at this juncture.
Oh, I think you do, Cecilia. I think you do.
But why do you feel that is necessary at this point?
There are certain opportunities that are going to open up for our family.
But
the Sovereign's heir has noticed us, and we wish to encourage that notice now, don't we?
Yes, sir.
So, books will be delivered. You will not share these books with others. They are for you and you alone. Your lessons will continue, but you will have additional ones with me. What do you see when you look out this window, Cecilia?
This is probably the first time she's lifted her gaze at all. I see the palace. I see the city beyond it. It's a cloudy day. Well, sort of.
You shall see those who will serve us as is right, for our rank and authority.
Yes, you're right. She's just tremoring.
He comes forward at that point. It's the first time he's walked away from the window. He steps up to you, and he reaches out to put his hand along the back of your, through the back of your skull. What should be a comforting or friendly gesture, but it's not.
Never was. Never was.
And there's just this tingle of magic in his hands as he does so. This is your first lesson, Cecilia, since you wish to work with health and wellness. And he will, and this is the first time you'll have experienced it, feel that arcanum of a mind delving into your own. It's unpleasant. He does not take care to be gentle. But it's that moment of initial pain and disorientation, and that's where the memory breaks. And you're kneeling on the ground next to Vashard and Delme. Russ is staring across this lake, and Ritka is, I guess, slowly sitting up now from the side of the lake.
Yeah. Slowly.
But the connection has been broken.
Fashad, I seem to have broken, are you, how do you feel?
Am I even conscious?
You should be.
Yeah, I mean, the mind, her mind delve was not to do you harm. You...
No, but I mean, when I was in the memory with Ritka,
You are
the way
now... You
I think we're both like waking up, coming out of it.
Yeah, you were observing that memory, so you were outside of it, and then you had the conversation with Ritka. And then when you said, make new memories, you felt the connection between you and Ritka, like, fade. And you feel yourself awakening generally. There's... The only thing that you feel is the kind of brush of Delme's mind against your own at a surface level. But you can answer, Cecilia.
I am not okay.
Russ is gonna fly across the lake. Like, Russ is gonna, like, get up in a bit of flap of feathers and fly across the lake.
I seem to have lost connection. I think I failed you, Vashard. I'm afraid I don't know what to do about the door. There's a door in your mind. I don't know. I need more time to... But from what little I know of fang sickness, you don't have as much time as I believe there must be a way to break the door. I don't know how. I don't have the means at this point, but there must be a way.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Yes. So, your mark has your brand has some kind of connection that connects you and Ritka and I would presume Lady Talis, though I cannot follow the string as far as it will go. I don't know if it's a thrall or something, but yours is a different color than Ritka's. But I have many theories of what that could be. I'm rambling, but essentially, it's like there's a doorway that connects to a hallway. And that is a way for, presumably, Lady Talis to reach you. And seems to move closer and closer into you every little bit of time. But I don't know how to break it. Yet. That is the key word here, is yet. The key word is yet. I don't have the answer yet. There is an answer. I don't know. There must be. If only I could remember what the lectures would say. Where the book is.
Surely, if we cut down Lady Talis, she's not going to take control of me anytime soon.
No, I think we have time, but I don't think very much of it.
A few weeks, months, perhaps, if not cured. Would examining my old armor mask help? It has a connection to Lady Talis. I don't know if you could study it or glean any information. It's not my specialty.
It could. I mean, it wouldn't hurt necessarily. But where is it buried?
It's buried not very far at all from where Ritka was living, out here in the Pavan Weald.
About a day's travel from where you are.
Well, Senior Envoy, should we examine our compatriot's former skull armor, as it were? After all, you are still in charge, Rashad.
Can't. He's gonna turn to Russ. Russ is gone,
flew
that's
off.
true.
Yeah.
Russ made a big sound, like a caw, so you noticed that he was moving, and he flew
Yeah, but I was
across the-
unconscious during that time.
No, he just did it right now when you were
Oh,
all
okay.
awake. Yeah. Because, yeah. Made his caw, flew across the river. He was not being stealthy. He was like, I am moving over this way.
I can't be trusted with the leadership of this group at this moment. Gods know what this bite is going to do to me, and it might be affecting my judgment. It might lead you all into a trap.
Well, you are of sound mind and judgment now.
Ritka
Yeah, your
knows what this
thoughts
bite's gonna
seem-
do to him, doesn't she?
Okay.
Yes, I mean, eventually it's possible that we will lose you, but for this specific moment, until you designate a chain of command of who would follow next, you are still in charge. And you are still Vashar.
Russ, you fly across this lake. It's not a very big lake. It's a couple 100 yards. 100 yards, maybe.
I fly and I sort of land at the feet of the unicorn, and I do my own version of a bird bow, as it were, and remain in a prostrate position in the face of one of the original. Like, I mean, these are unicorns. Unicorns are like the first Raiden. They are like the embodiment of everything that's light and Aldea. Like they're like a really big deal. They're not like a little deal. They're a really big deal.
This unicorn stares at you, and you hear against your shield. But
Which
it's
I
a little bit different. I mean, it's also, there's a level of communication that Raiden have with among themselves that isn't quite the same as psychic communication that you need to have with two-leggeds. So it's not quite the same as going over your shield, it's just this private channel almost. So.
You appeared before us. How may we be of service? I am Russet of the Sovereign's Finest, and I'm at your service, humbly.
Russet. Interesting. You are very shiny in the night, Russet.
Trying to, there's been, well, there was a conflict. We were trying to protect, save.
The vampire. Yes, I saw.
Right. She was going to kill or she was going to go and kill a unicorn.
Me.
And,
It's fine. You can save me.
well, I didn't want to presume. It could have been someone else. I don't know. I didn't want to presume. So we were trying to stop that from happening, and so if we're shining, so if that was disturbing, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yes. Your assistance and attempted assistance is noted and appreciated, but unnecessary at the moment.
Right. Well, she left, so I think technically not assisting you at the moment. And if your assistance, if our assistance was unwelcome, I'm sorry. I humbly beg forgiveness.
You can be a little bit less servile.
I wouldn't want to offend. I've also never met a unicorn in feather before, so it's kind of.
Well, that's very pleasant. Those yours?
They're my companions, yes, and one of our members seems to be in a bit of trouble at the moment. We're trying to figure it out. Some sort of vampire bite situation, and so there's just a little bit of
Yes, she likes growing her web.
Her web. Yes, she's here in our lands, just trying to trying to stop. She's disrupting the land wherever she walks, so we're trying to maybe do something about that to fight the shadow.
Your dedication is appreciated.
Oh, so, is there something we might be able to do? Should we leave the glade, or are we disturbing you? Is there something you? It is an honor to be in your company.
Why don't you introduce me to your friends?
Of course. Yes. I'm going to fly over there, but I'm not leaving. I'm just, you can follow if you like.
That's what I was going to do. And the unicorn proceeds to kind of like step over you and just walks around the side of the lake.
Picks up flight, flies. There's like clearly an uncertain whether or not Russ should fly in front of the unicorn or behind the unicorn. Is it better protocol? like there's clearly a sort of an uncertain, like, this is a unicorn. There's a certain uncertainty of like, where's the best protocol on where, like, oh, so there it's a bit sort of like just Russ kind of goes into circling for a little bit, and then Russ circles because that seems to be the most.
Delmay, I believe at this point you're probably the first to see this unicorn clear and break the tree line of their side of the lake.
Oh.
With a circling Russ.
Russ found the unicorn. Delmay will stand up from where she was kneeling and still holding Bashar's hand, and kind of walk a little bit in that direction. The vampire lady didn't kill it.
Russ will attempt to set up a group connection between everyone. It's a little bit of, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's not second. I don't want second sight. That's the wrong button. Pardon me. It's just there's a unicorn here. It's a little, like, there's just a unicorn right there. So that's just a whole.
That's exactly how I acted when I met Weird Al. I was like, oh my gosh, this is weird.
I got it. Everyone, there's. I'd like to introduce to this is Delmay, of a noble house, which means she is pure of heart. This is Vashard, who is
kneeling as fast as he can.
Who walks with the wolves and is one with the forests. This is Cecilia, dedicated to healing and the arts of the body and the mind. This is Ritka, who abandoned a life of corruption at great cost to herself, including the loss of her family, in order to walk the path of light, and who did so at the cost of much sickness.
There's just this pause as the unicorn just you all feel this level of
I will make note that Ritka has not looked at the unicorn. She's looking at the ground.
Well, you seem like very pleasant individuals. You may call me Estelle.
It's an honor.
Indeed.
This one I know. And the unicorn sort of nods and gestures with the horn on their head towards Vashard. He's local. I like him.
Bashard is still kneeling, head low, so that no one knows how fucking red he is.
And there's this dainty movement of an animal shaped like a horse but larger. It's just picture a full-size Destier warhorse standing 18, 19 hands, over 7 feet tall, but moving in a slow grace. And they come up to between Delmay and Vashard and kind of nod in greeting to both of you, and then turn to look at
Russ would also say, this is also Manfrey, who dances the eternal dance. And actually, I don't think really Russ knows who that last person is, who's also there, like the bartender, but cannot vouch for their their connection to light, so kind of just doesn't actually know their name.
He's also still unconscious, so.
But Russ would introduce Manfrey as well.
The Estelle turns and just kind of nods to both Whisper and Asen, a kind of animal connection greeting, and walks over to Delme and kind of you get this look of like an old soul judging you, somehow eternal in the eyes that look at you.
Hi.
You are honest.
I try to be.
Hold on to it. It'll serve you well. Question as much as you want. And then there's this moment, Russ, and the connection isn't dropped between all of you, but there's this momentary connection, Delme, that's just you and the unicorn. Briefly, that's like... And don't forget to question Russ. He needs it a little bit more.
Duly noted.
There's this turn and look at Vishard. This moment of waiting.
You remember how Gimli acts in front of Galadriel? That's Vishard. He's not looking up.
And you feel this hot breath of the muzzle snort out at you out of the nostrils. And you feel this momentary brush of a mind against yours. Vishard, roll me willpower faith.
Mm-hmm. 16 with 5 stun points.
Cool. Make a note. You have a +2 to your next Constitution Stamina saving throw.
Nice.
And you hear the voice of this unicorn in your mind say, "Oh, that vampire doesn't get to have you. I already picked you out for my own."
Vishar doesn't say anything, but if you were to look closely, there would be a tear falling down his nose. The tip of his nose.
I do like your new family, though. They seem entertaining. And you just feel this brush of the side of the flank of the unicorn as they walk by you. Over to Cecilia. And you feel this weight of judgment in your mind. I think I like you. You try to help people.
For better or for worse.
Hmm.
I sure try. You'll have to forgive me, dear unicorn. I find myself at a loss to help anymore.
That just means you need to study more. Not all diseases are known, or how to fix them yet. But that doesn't mean they can't be. And that's the goal of a doctor, right?
Indeed. Science is not fixed, it is mutable for a reason.
So, keep looking. Keep asking questions. Sometimes you might have to lance a boil to heal it.
Thank you.
You just feel that lingering pain of the memory that you had been in Cecilia. It seems to fade. It's still there and you still remember everything about it, but the sharpness of the recall is gone. The unicorn pauses, and there's a quiet conversation between it and Manfrey that none of the rest of you hear. And Manfrey sighs and shakes their head and goes over to sit next to Whisper and just leans kind of against Whisper and turns to Delme and just shakes their head. But there's a smile on their face. That kind of calmed smile, like, I'm okay. I'll be okay. And then, Ritka, you feel something staring at you and looming over you.
Damn it, Kitten! What are you doing?
Kitten's stressed out by this moment too.
Kitten wants to
Staring
eat.
and Lumen.
Kitten wants to eat my curry. That's
No.
what she wants. She's trying real hard. Sorry. Looming. Staring. I'm there.
You are yourself. No one else. And you might want to hold on to that new family that you've got. They're pretty okay. Even the high-strung bird one.
I think she just... There's like a half nod.
Roll me willpower faith.
Well, as we've established, Ritka has no faith. So, we're just gonna roll willpower. 14.
You feel the brand on your wrist ache. But
She probably figures it's just the proximity to the unicorn. The antithesis of
fades.
vampire.
It fades pretty quickly. And you feel less calling to Lady Talis. Like, say, if you're ever in her presence again and need to make that Constitution stamina to resist her, you get a +1.
Oh.
Mechanically speaking. Please make a note of it, because I'm not going to
It
remember
it will go into my journal once my cat's not in the way.
Yeah, it's fine. And the unicorn then turns and walks back to Russ. And Russ, you feel this large head just kind of nuzzle you for a moment. You're on the right track, Russ. But you can't be perfect.
Certainly not.
And neither can they.
Just obviously, we're not unicorns.
Russ, it's a path, not a state of being. They need to walk it at their own rate. You're just there to show it to them.
I'm not in charge of that group. They make their own path.
You're right in, Russ. You can't let two-leggeds think that they can find their own path. They never know what to look for. And there's this moment of just like snort laughter as the unicorn just walks into the trees. And I thank you for and you all hear this moment of, thank you for trying to make sure that the crazy vampire lady from Kern who serves a Lich King didn't eat me. Your dedication is noted and appreciated. Next time we'll drink together. It'll be fun. They walk away.
It was lovely to meet you. Okay, bye.
I think Ritka takes just a glance as it's almost out of sight walking away. Stop trying to eat everything, including my hair.
Ritka, roll perception seeing.
Oh, okay. Bubbles.
Just before it disappears into the woods, you have this moment where you make eye contact, and the slightest of wink. And almost like a smile graces this equine face. And you hear in your mind, well, you belong to us now. You should enjoy it. It'll be a lot of fun.
And Ritka has a panic attack. It's fine. That's definitely what she needed to hear right now.
Don't worry. We're a lot nicer than where you left behind. And just this flick of a tail as the unicorn disappears into the woods.
Russ takes flight a little bit, just has to a couple circles, and then like perches on a branch above everybody.
Have we lost the whole connection or just the unicorn in the connection?
Just the unicorn. The whole connection is still there,
Okay.
but the unicorn is just kind of like... It's not even like somebody hung up on you, it's like they were never there to begin with. Like this really kind of classy removal of themselves from the connection.
Russ, are you quite well?
How's the investigations going with the shard? How's everyone? How's that going? Did it go?
I think Ritka looks like she's gonna be sick, but that's all. That's just.
There's more to know, but not yet.
But you didn't answer Cecilia's question.
Yes, Russ. It's
Well, I feel
important for you to...
We should do work first. We have to report back to the Sovereigns, the first envoy. We've got
No, a unicorn told me I'm supposed to ask you questions, and so I'm going to ask you questions forever, and you just have to answer, Russ.
Don't think I have to answer.
Well, I'm just gonna... Well, if you answer, I might stop asking you questions, so it's really your choice how we play this. I'm just following the unicorn's advice.
Right. Anyway, there's
How are you
always a time
feeling?
and a place. There's a time and a place.
There,
Like we
this
do
is a
have
time
to
and place to know
report.
the mental state of our whole party.
This
Actually,
is
I think
true.
it's a time and a place to report back to the first envoy. Lady Talis was just right here, so, and also a unicorn. Feel like we should probably report in.
How about we talk about how you're doing while we walk?
Where we walking? I don't walk, by the way.
Right on me.
No, but where are we walking?
I believe we should probably rest here while you contact the first envoy, but...
Oh, so we're not getting armor?
What?
It's a day's travel.
So rest.
Oh,
would be
right,
good
Russ, you
for-
were on the other side of the water body.
The lagoon. Were you about to say the lagoon?
Is it a
Like
blue
a lake?
lagoon?
The
It
lake?
was more
the
like a
lagoon?
lake.
The pond? I don't know what it is.
Like,
like
this body of water that was described to us as a lake.
The lake, okay.
We're going to get some armor somewhere. Is this? Just feel like we should probably check in.
Yes, no, we should check in with the first envoy. You're right, but Ritka thinks that perhaps if we look at her old Skull Knight armor, we might be able to understand better the connection between her brand and Vashard's and Lady Talis.
Oh, I'll look at my brand now, too, also, because that stung for a minute.
How are you
Alright.
looking at it?
With my eyeballs.
What about your
If I see
psychic
Ritka
eyeballs?
doing that, can I second sight it?
Yeah.
You can indeed second sight it.
Sweet.
Rika's a big...
would also
Rika
like to
has
second
second sight, but she mostly used it for, I don't know, slaying adepts and stuff. So she's still not used to like, oh, let me do a nice, pleasant investigation using this. So she uses her eyeballs for a lot of things.
So
I'll roll
with
it.
the second
Eyeballs.
sight, Delmay and Cecilia, it both
Ooh.
looking at the brand, you again see this string that connects Vashard and Ritka, and one that goes further out. But it's much more gray, but also like that gray-brown of Delmay. It makes you think about that gray-brown of decomposing tree mast, right? Leaf and bark that's fallen to the floor of a wood and is slowly returning to a natural state. It's still there, but
Yeah.
not... It was pinker
Yeah.
significantly when you looked at it last.
I will share my observations. The color has changed. It's not as vibrant.
It's almost like, as gross as this may sound, dried blood a bit. It's like your connection is fading, and I think that's good.
Yeah. I'll take it
Does
as a
it
positive
Look
sign.
any different with my eyeballs?
Your eyeballs?
With my
From visual,
eyeballs.
if you just look at it, it doesn't look any different at all. It looks the same
Cool.
as it has since it healed over after you were first inducted into the Knights of the Skull.
Okay.
Russ goes one-on-one with Cecilia. Cecilia, I'd like to ask your assessment as our healer.
Of what specifically?
Is it safe to connect the shard with the first envoy? Psychically, I mean, you know.
I think he's okay for now, but I think it's a significant risk. As time goes on, it's only gonna... Until we can find this cure, it's very risky.
So,
And
should
he
I-
knows it. But it's not affecting him yet.
So for this moment, it's safe.
But this might be his last call with the envoy until we can get this fixed.
All
Even
right.
then, you will use caution, I'm sure. But
It would be preferable if you were to do it, Russ.
This is just Cecilia and I.
Oh,
I don't want. Oh yeah, no,
that's true.
it's okay.
Yeah, because I'm asking about whether or not you're safe. I don't want you to hear that conversation. That's like,
Yeah.
is this person dangerous?
It's fine. Just keep talking behind his back. It's fine.
Yeah. That's why you talk to the doctor.
I mean, Russ, I would let him make the final call if he wants to be on this one, but this is probably the final one. If he's going to do it, I would say this is his last one until we can get the cure.
In which case, he probably should do it. It's important.
I would still ask him
All right.
and expect a potential no.
Well, he's in charge of the unit. He should report.
We may have to discuss chain of command until he can get a cure.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's really only one person.
You?
No.
Really?
You. No, you.
No, you.
Sorry, that's technically it would be you.
I my rank is specifically with a specific corps under a specialty that would not deign me the leadership.
As
in
is
this case.
mine, but you're actually in this particular unit while I'm a sort of just an attaché, and my rank also does not involve leadership, so I come in also. I'm just in recruitment. Clearly, I think that you're the one who's more qualified to do this if there's going to be a chain of command situation, and I would support you 100%. You are capable, you are knowledgeable, you are humane, you are good, trustworthy.
Well, then we best get Vashard fixed very quickly. This is his unit, after all.
All right. Well, carry on with the ladies' party line. I'm going to contact Bouchard for a bit more work.
Very well.
Know about the ladies' party line?
I saw y'all looking at each other with eyes. I don't know what you were saying, but there were eyes.
the hawk sees.
What you talking about? I don't know.
Fair.
The eyebrow raises.
Oh, probably girl stuff. Yeah. Mm.
Russ,
No, it's all two-legged stuff. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
Russ, you are going to join with Bouchard?
I'm going to poke at Vashard to see if Vashard will let me in.
I'm in.
Vashard, I'm
What the fuck, Russ?
here to go and connect you to the first envoy so you can report in.
Yeah, and do I add that you tried to peck at me?
Yes, indeed, because that happened. And everything that happened should be reported.
You realize that I might be a risk if you connect me.
I already discussed this with your doctor, Cecilia. She says that this time is still safe, but probably the last time. And you deserve the right to be able to connect in and have this conversation with the first envoy.
Before we do that, there's something I need to say.
All right.
Because none of the others are going to do it. But if I become a vampire like Lady Talis, you need to kill me. And you need to do it faster and better than with a gentle peck on my nipple.
Bouchard, you are one of the few people I've known for a great part of my life. You and I have fought together, your hands in my eyes. I'd been in the finest for some time before we really worked together. It was a change. An area. And I know there is great light in you. Sadness, but light. Shadow does not fall upon you. You are someone that can be trusted in your heart. And I will tell you this. I cannot promise to kill you. I can promise to try, but it doesn't mean I'll be successful. I'm not capable in that way. Not like you are, or many others. But I will try, because I owe it to you as my brother not to allow you to be taken out of the internal dance. I would never live with myself if I knew that you would never be able to reincarnate and finally make it to join the dance in the end. I would try. You're muted, though.
God damn it. I know you will. I also know you'll be better positioned than anybody else to take me out if I become a vampire. You're the only other one in here who can manipulate the light.
I don't really think about it as manipulation, just more like it sort of flows because you're connected. You don't manipulate the light, you embody it. You don't fight it. And
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but I wanted to let you know what I meant, because people who do that are people who are worthy of love and who have a lot to give. The Shard.
Why don't we? Give that report.
You know, you are always my brother, and always will be.
And you mine.
And Russ hops onto your shoulder. I say, just for the record, didn't work. I tried, though. Couldn't scratch it hardly any. But I did try.
You ever thought of enhancing your beak with like a metal plate or something?
No, I can do that with internal psychic power, but I kind of think that probably doesn't work much against vampires, so I thought I'd just do it, old school. Tooth and claw, as they'd say. If you're ready.
Now more than ever.
Before I connect, I'd like to ask you for a favor.
Mm.
There might be a conversation about chain of commands and my understanding how that's going to go. And I would like to request, quite humbly, seeing your envoy, that you recommend that Cecilia be the one who is your exo, who takes on the unit in case anything happens to you. That's my counsel.
Then I will take it into account.
I'll make the connection.
You make this connection. It's not hard. I'm not going to make you roll for it. What do you leave anything out of your report?
We'll mention that we were again transported into the past. That we sought shelter with a spirit dancer. And that we were warned of a possible attack on a unicorn by none other than Lady Talis, who is currently somewhere in all this. The unicorn is safe, but we believe that what happened at the village, Verduin, and that The events that occurred at the village were just a taste of what's going to happen in the future. There is a sickness in Aldous, and we need to mobilize anyone and everyone to track down Lady Aldous and get rid of her.
There is a confirmation and an acknowledgement of your skill and dedication. You did a good job.
Russ pecks on the brand just to remind, doesn't say it, but just pecks to remind Alvashard.
I was also injured in the fight with Lady Aldous. I bear a brand now.
Fang sickness, they call it.
There's not a brand with fang sickness. That's a separate thing.
Well, I have both fang sickness and apparently
Well, Lady
skull
Talis has
scar.
always been a complication and a unique individual. Someone with that level of arcane knowledge when they were turned into a vampire is always distressing. But I have faith in you. I'm sure you will continue to do well. Make your way to the nearest settlement in the morning. We will be mobilizing various units in the area. Provide as much information as you can. Don't know why she's here, but it's good to know that we know that it's good that we know she is. Continue to provide such stellar service, Vashard, and you might even get promotion out of this. Russ.
Yes, ma'am. By the way, I do not think Russ knows that the Lich King is alive. I do not think that was a conversation that was inside of Ritka's head, and I do not think she shared that.
Ritka said to Delmay and Cecilia that Lady Talis claimed that the Lich King was still alive. Now, whether that was in the ladies' chat or out, I thought that might have been in the ladies' chat, though.
No, I think they were out loud at that one, right?
It was just before you pecked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was,
Oh, no, then, okay, I thought that one was in the ladies' chat.
I think that was out loud. I think it was an out loud chat.
Yeah.
We've also heard rumors of the return of the Lich King.
Make your way to the nearest settlement. I shall be coming to you shortly. Don't die, and don't let Russ get panicky, and let everyone, and I'm sure everything will work out. First envoy out. And there's this brief, very curt hang-up.
What did she mean, make you panicky?
No idea.
Is that to do with Sarthan?
Yes. It's not a name to bring up.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have, but for what it's worth, I never thought it was your fault.
But it was my fault.
No. To each their own. If I fall off a mountain, no one can help me. It's just the way things are.
It's not true, though, is it? If I fell off a mountain, you'd pick me up and carry me out.
I mean, if you fall off a mountain, chances are the fall will kill you. Same as mine. Same as me.
You wouldn't leave me behind. You pick me up and you take me out of there. No matter what.
Was that why? You...
I don't have hands. Two-leggeds are awfully heavy.
And I can't fall. I can't fly.
No. But flight doesn't matter. Not always.
What if you were thousands of feet up in the air and you're attacked by a wyvern? What am I going to do?
Shoot it with the bow, probably.
Bows don't reach thousands of feet in the air, Russ. See, that's the thing. We each have our realities. And I'm not gonna tell you how to feel. That's all I can say is Sarthan would not think any ill of you for what happened. And whatever happens next to us, none of it is your fault.
Depends on what happens, isn't it?
I know you'll do everything in your power. And that's all that matters.
And on that, we're going to end it for tonight. How we doing? We feeling okay?
Bird tears. Little bird tears.
Oh,
Little bird tears.
I feel like I did a boo-boo calling Sarthan, but it just like came out.
No. Like I feel like that he would have said it, you know? It's not a conversation that y'all had between each other, but it's like, oh, well, not a thing I want to talk about, but, well, all right.
Well, you know, there were lots of conversations like that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We doing okay?
Yes.
yeah.
So, thank you, audience. Thank you, players. Thank you, everyone. If you missed out on the beginning of this wonderful session, don't forget to check out the VODs over on YouTube. I see you over there. I see you all peoples hanging out and leaving some kind comments. But we're going to go around, let my wonderful, wonderful friends tell you what's going on and where you can find them online, and share some love for tonight. And maybe what you're looking at, maybe a question you want to see answered, maybe in next week's season 1 finale. Hey Pooja, how you doing? How's
Hi.
Delmay doing?
Delmay is feeling a lot better now that she had a little chatty chat with the unicorn, and the unicorn was supportive of the ways that have been called obnoxious by others in the past. Like, whatevs, it's cool. I got the ultimate seal of approval. But I think she's just otherwise she's feeling a little bit better, but she's still a lot like what she was feeling when she was talking to Cecilia earlier. Just so confused as to why things are happening the way they are, which isn't really normally the question she asks, but there's just been so much going on, and going through it all blind. I think she's mostly just hopeful for. She doesn't know where they're come from, but she hopes they get some answers soon. Because all that's happened to them is more questions the whole time. But in that way, like, I think that's also part of just going out there and getting experiences, and sometimes there's not answers to things. But let's see. Love for everybody. I think, well, as usual, everyone did a phenomenal job, and I think everybody showed in their own way. I think Ritka, she just always, I love her. The way she approached suddenly being inside Bashard's mind, I thought was surprisingly graceful for someone who has just been through so much, and it was nice seeing that kind of tender side of her when it came to Vashard. For Vashard, I really loved, kind of similarly, like, I love the tender moments when characters show kindness to each other, and I think Vashard at the very end there supporting Russ was so wonderful, especially because Vashard has been through the ringer, and even in that moment, the fact that he can manage grace is just always lovely to see. As for Dear Russ, I love the layers Trooper puts into Russ, where you can always tell that Russ is trying to keep things together on the surface, but then there's the Trooper layer underneath, which is making it very obvious that is not happening at all. And I love that, and the little adorable, like, Fan Ryhawk moment with the unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
I know.
They're born out of the divine drops falling from the gods. Not like all the rest of us. They're like,
yeah. If Russ were a two-legged person, Delmy's pretty sure it would have looked like.
Yes. Like, one moment.
That's not to say how it didn't look, but with his wings.
Yeah.
That's
just
true.
Like,
That's true.
There's some wing action going on.
Delmy's like, live your truth, man. If you gotta screech with joy, just screech with joy.
But you don't want to, like, it's right there. Unicorn,
Yeah.
she's right there.
I'm also excited to see the questions Delmy's gonna ask Russ. I can't tell you what they're gonna be, because
They're gonna be
the whole
questions
thing about Delmy is there's not a lot of thought that goes into it.
This is like, report first, like, first reports. You gotta, like, report. Russ was like, we just gotta get the report in. Like, that's like, we gotta finish the job. Then
It's like, we can do it all. But yes, I love that, and I cannot wait to see what happens. And then, of course, Cecilia. I loved seeing the other, like, more of Cecilia's backstory and more of the other side of her. And Meta Delmy is very glad Raoul was not there, because she's not very prone to violence, but she has a wolf for that. And let's just say Whisper and Raoul would have gotten very well acquainted treating Cecilia that way. And of course, Prax. Lovely as always, but I have to give special kudos to your unicorn voice, because it was the cutest and most pure little voice ever. And I was just like, how can anybody not be happy listening to a unicorn like that? Also, having met the unicorn, like, Lady Talis' evil level just went, oh.
Yeah.
How could you want to hurt that?
Because Lady Talis, spoiler alert, it's not very nice.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that. That's just.
Who'd have thunk? As for upcoming stuff, I have some things coming up in May, and I will be sharing more about scheduling on that next week during our finale. But till then, you can find me at Pooja on Twitter, Jabberwocky on Instagram, and in the Twitch chats. And, oh, yes, I will be in a different time zone for our finale. So I'm very excited about that. And I will be coming to you live from Colorado.
Oh. Will you be skiing? Will you be coming live from the slopes? Will you be like a reporter where you're like, live from the slopes, I'm Delme. And then like, we'll see you skiing and then like snow.
Well, I have skied one. I'm a Texas desert child. I have skied once in my life, and it was when I was 19. So that hasn't happened in a long time. But no, I am pretty confident, given how clumsy I am, that if I tried to attempt skiing, I would break a leg. Like I would. But not far from where I am, there's apparently like a tube ride down the mountain I can take, and I will 100% be doing that. Because I am going to be in a ski town, and I've heard that apparently Denver got snow like 4 days ago, so there's gonna be snow out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I'm very
have
excited about that.
all the fun, and we will be very excited to see what you get up to in Colorado's for the finale for season 1.
Yes, I have to. I like one of my bags is basically streaming on the road gear.
Yes, that I know that life. I know that.
Yeah.
Life.
Well, when I had my sabbatical in 2019, that was my life for like the whole year.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's cool. We got this. We'll be good.
We got this. And then next up, hey Alyssa, how's Cecilia doing? What are?
Just so relieved that the unicorn was nice and so determined to find the cure. Because what if? That's the main question. If this cure, not only what is the cure, but if this cure works on Vashard, would it also maybe work for Ritka? And then Ritka's free of Kern. Then all she has is her memories to live with, and you can work with those. Those can be lived through and worked through. That's all good. So that's Cecilia. She's just like not processing her own feelings and focusing on a solution.
I don't know why they're best friends, whatever.
Super healthy.
Super healthy, but like every therapist I know, focus on other people and not themselves. Not a call out. Anyway, so for the things, hello, you can find me at Xander Slamilton. I'm on Twitter mostly at this point. If it's not thoughts about Dragon Age, it's the updated adventures of my brief sabbatical here in South Carolina. Currently, my cat is laying on my hand and I cannot move. And then, yeah, otherwise, Tuesday evening on channel Other Doc for Urban Shadows, where the supernatural in Rome are just a mess. Just a right old mess. It's wonderful. It's great. But for love for tonight, I think Pooja covered so many of the various moments, like the tender Ritka and Vashard moment, and the tender Vashard and Rust moment, and Delme just being like, the unicorn says I can do it, so I'm gonna do it. But I think it was just generally the unicorn, the whole unicorn. Just, it's so nice to have just such a wholesome character. So yeah. Yes, Princess Carolyn, I'm petting you. Shut up.
And any questions Cecilia's looking into for the finale?
Yes, the cure. The cure for the brands, the cure for fang sickness. If not the exact cure, then a pathway towards it, because science is a messy, complicated business full of change and trying again and trying it until you find something that works, and then figuring out there's probably 3 other things that would have worked too. So figuring it out.
Yep. And don't forget, chat, to go ahead and throw some episode titles, keeping to our 80s power ballad title brand for this series. And next up is hey Trooper, how you doing?
I am doing super well. Got a little choked up. Russ is, just like Cecilia, totally fine. Totally fine. Not so fine. Having brought up a name from Russ's past was a bit of a surprise. I was like, cool. It's one of those things like Russ is like, I need to check in with Ritka, but I can't because right now we've got to do this. I need to talk to Cecilia, but I can't. Like there's all like Russ has a lot of things that Russ wants to do, but never feels like there's time to do it because there's always work to do first, and that is not at all avoidance. It's just that sometimes there's work you have to do first before you can do other things.
Russ sounds like me before I burnt out at my old job.
Oh man.
Yeah.
To-do list that never ends and no personal things can ever get done. Yeah.
And they're like, why do I have 5,000 emails right now when I didn't have 5,000 yesterday? What a lovely session. I loved. First off, I loved Cecilia being like, door, boop, and you're like, nope, that was perfect. Also, one of these days we're gonna. Russ and Cecilia are going to have a conversation about her brother and other things. And it's going to happen. Just one of these days, I know it. It's going to happen. Maybe not when we're in danger, but it'll happen. Ritka's sitting by the edge of the lake, right? Like there was such complexity over there in Ritka, and that was beautiful. And I want to give Ritka a hug, but I kind of can't right now because I don't have arms. I have wings. It's not super awesome. And also, you know, Ritka doesn't like hugs and Russ doesn't give hugs because whatever. But, you know, mentally, there'd be a hug. There'd be a mental hug. Delme. I love Delme. What I love about Delme is that, like, this is like it's the thing I want to bring up about Delme. I loved how Delme is such a great learner, right? Like, so there's gonna be like a psychic investigation to what's going on with the shard. Okay, well, I will go here. Like, I want to help, and I'm going to do the mind reading versus the mind delving, and like that wonderful combination of those two things together was just this wonderful, you know, the ways in which Delme is like thinks outside of the box, but always adds value in this really wonderful way. Like it just, Delme I just thought was like really exemplary. Like Delme does all those things. Like Delme says the stuff. And you're like, but that's for me, like this amazing Delme where Delme is like, I can actually help in this way that no one thought about. And here it is. And it's just like, that's like one of the things I love about Delme. And the shard. We're brothers in battle. We fought really many wars together. We fought in the war. There was a lot of carnage, I imagine, and things. And I thought even though Russ did not want to talk about Sarthan, it was perfect that you did, because out of all of the people, you're the one who would probably bring it up in a moment when Russ would be not wanting to, but might talk about it. And when you said, well, yeah, but if you're 1,000 feet in the air and you're being attacked by Wyvern, I can't do anything about it. And that was like when where you're like, yeah, that's true, right? But that's hard to hear when you think it's my fault because I can't do things that people like you can do. Like I can't pick up things. There are these things that I can't do. And you're like, yeah, but also like we also can't do like, and it was like in some ways like the perfect thing to say that Russ is going to have to like meditate on a little bit, right? Because that was a truth, and it was a really good truth, but it takes a bit of time to process that truth. But it was like the perfect thing to say that Russ now will process, right? And it was beautiful. Like that was a very beautiful moment. I just want to say, side note for Cecilia, no, you're going to be the boss, not me. You're in charge. And you're like, no, not me. I have a rank that says I don't get to be in charge. I was going, yeah, no, me too though. So, and actually like just that little moment was made me really happy.
It did confirm your rumor for me though, so that felt good.
I don't know what you're talking, like really I don't need to be in charge of anything. You should be in charge of things. So I feel like that's the case there, that you should be in charge of things, not me. So that's cool. And I want to give some love to our GM, Prax, who is the Praxagoriest of the Smophorists. And it's true, actually, it's written down.
True,
so
it's facts.
Yeah, it's true facts.
See,
You
it's
know-
really strange when you actually know what those two words mean.
Can't
about
I make
making
them?
into adjectives.
I don't get to make them into adjectives. But you can
Well,
make anything into an
Praxagora-
adjective.
But it's already happened.
I mean, Praxagora, kind of, okay, she's a character, it's her name, fine. But the Thesmiophoriae is a place.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah, you're the
Praxagora-
most placiest of those places.
Yeah,
I mean,
You're the
it's like, okay.
personiest place. Yes.
there is.
You're
Of
the
those
persiest
things.
place there is.
Like, okay, let me
I
put it this way.
mean, that's like saying. Okay, so the
You're the-
Thesmophoria is also like a political location in Athens, and it has to do with, you know, basically the Senate of Athens. It's like, great. I really
Okay.
Look
want
at
to be
you.
the
You're the
most
whole
political.
Senate.
Okay,
You're
let
the
me put it this
whole
way.
Senate.
You are the most Liberace of all ballrooms. I feel like you can certainly adjective a person and attach it to a place, and you know, you're like, well, yeah, that's a very Liberace ballroom. Just saying. Just so anyway, the point is, of course, the unicorn was brilliant, but I actually think I want to give some love to the ways in which it was for me, what like my favorite part of Prax's skill tonight was the mind switcheroos, right? So the way that you dealt with the memory of Vashard meeting Revka, right? That switched that memory to this moment then of Ritka, like the way that you transitioned from that memory to the moment where Ritka and Vashard are in a memory to then Cecilia and her brother, like that particular like 3-scene transition was just was so brilliant. It was like seamless, but the way that you dealt with like time and space, it was so tasty. It was so tasty that I'm gonna give my love to that 3 memory passage transition because it was brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh, and you can find me, what is today? Sunday? You can find me Thursday, 6 p.m. over on my channel, Trooper SJP, 6 p.m. Eastern for The Long Dark. Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern over at Laugh Love Lindy's channel for Aether's Walkway, which
Not
is a cipher.
this week. Not for Aethers this week. I have a family thing that came
So
up.
not this week.
Not
Ha,
Aether's Walkway this week.
I lied
yeah.
to you.
I
That
still need
was
to
a
put it in
lie.
the group chat because I just found out about it this afternoon. But yeah.
I fooled you. Haha. Psych. Said you can find me with Laugh Love Lindy to Friday night at 7
Yes.
p.m. Eastern for City of Light and Shadow, a French resistance campaign. Big deal Saturday I'll just do the RPG. The Saturday at 6 p.m. over at Weave the Tale, you can see the first episode of my 3-part Tachyon Squadron extravaganza, which is going to all be like Buck Rogers, Space Fighter Pilots, Top Gun, Highway to the Danger Zone, but in space.
Nice.
For 3 episodes. So that's me. That's me.
Always a great time to have you, and thank you, Trooper. I appreciate that wonderful comment. It made me happy. Thank you. And then, hey, Lindy, how are you, and how's Rika doing?
I'm fine. Good heavens.
Wait,
I
I
feel
shouldn't
like
ask how Rika's doing, because I've been getting notes.
This page, and this page were all empty when we started today. She has had a lot of thoughts, a lot of which happened while she was sitting by the lake, and then a bunch more happened after that. And then, there's... Lindy's doing great. I think Ritka's actually doing worse than she was at the beginning of the episode.
Oh dear.
Guilt?
Yeah. That and the unicorn kind of scared her. Like, freaked her out and she did not like that encounter at all. It's like when you take a bunch of kids to go see Santa Claus, and they're like, oh my gosh, Santa, and there's that one kid that's like really freaked out, like, the fuck is this bullshit? Like, that was Ritka. Ritka was that
Whereas
kid. Like,
Delmay's like, the unicorn's my bestie, and we're gonna braid each other's hair.
and the unicorn said, like, the exact thing that would instill, like, a sense of panic in her. And yeah, she's not great. If I had to make a guess, she's probably gonna have a breakdown in our finale, and it's gonna be great. Can't wait for next week. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, you can find favorite parts. Oh, and a question she has to ask before favorite parts. Who am I? That is the
Jean
question.
Valjean.
I really
wants to answer.
am trying
Jackie
not
Chan.
to sing the Jean Valjean line. I'm trying.
I'm gonna watch
really
Jackie Chan's
hard.
Who Am I in the upcoming week to prepare myself because I love that movie and I love Jackie Chan. Maybe it'll help Rika. Probably not, but I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, so that's her question: is who am I? And then oh goodness, moments. I loved Russ's Gimli Galadriel-esque like fanboying over the unicorn. That was very amusing because it seemed so unlike the Russ that we've seen. The typical Russ that we get to see. The workboat Russ is all that we've seen so far, and so it was really nice to see that other side of Russ.
It's a unicorn. Like, it's a unicorn. It's a unicorn.
And it was a really cute Russ moment. It was like, oh, look at Russ. My Delme moment was, yo, Rika! Why is she so obsessed with you? Like that.
That
It's
was
a great
great.
question. Delmay's asking all the right questions. That's all.
And I love it. I love it. That was great. And then, poor Cecilia.
Oh,
Like, good heavens, that little flashback, I was like,
I'm gonna kill your brother.
Yeah.
You
He's already
don't
dead,
have
though.
to. He's already dead.
I know, but
well,
you know,
if he wasn't,
we would all kill
or
him.
if he comes
We
not
think
dead.
he's already
We
dead.
think he's already dead. Well,
But
death
the
is
Lich
just a
King's
state of
not
being.
dead.
Why
So-
should
Find
he
a
be
body?
hanging out with Talia and all the
Oh,
other
what
people?
is that? Like, what do you
It's
mean?
just a state
hang
of
out with
existence,
Talis?
and also
No.
no death, no crime. I don't know. So, anyways, but if she saw him trying to do a mind delve on Cecilia, as someone who's performed countless mind delves on people, I think she would just straight up be like, and
Sorcery.
sorcery. I see what you're doing. I see. This is worth a little. Tormenting the sorcerer, delving into Cecilia is worth me getting corruption. That is what she would say in that instant. So she found that out. Torment. Or mind delve him. See how he likes
Torment
it.
for you. Torment for you.
And more. And then how about you just have all the torment? Oh, and now I'll mind delve you so you can see what it feels like. Anyways, so that was my Cecilia moment. It was poor Cecilia. I just wanted to hug her. And then Bashard.
Oh.
I liked how he brought up Russ because as soon after that call with the envoy, I was looking at my Russ rumor and I was like, ooh, what was that person's name? And then you said it like, as soon as I read it, and I was like, look at Simon asking the questions that some of us are thinking.
Tell
And
me,
it was
so
just-
proud.
It was just really good. I really liked him bringing that up, even though he's going through like a whole heckin' time, like, oof.
A
And of
whole
course,
heckin' time.
yeah, a whole heckin' time, and also the conversation that he had with Ritka, because that was a good conversation for both of them to have. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens next week.
It's a
You can
good
find me
conversation.
online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. You can find me tomorrow as a player on my channel for some D&D shenanigans where I'm a pyramid scheme warlock. And then on Tuesday I get to GM some things, and I have thrown a Dark Lord and then like a runner-up Dark Lord, like a cerebral vampire, and then the Dark Lord's daughter, and like a weird kind of love triangle slash they all want to kill each other over this crown scenario, and the group's just all caught in the middle. They're just all in this terrible web that they themselves have woven, and it's beautiful. So if you want to see people maybe die, come on Tuesday. And then we are not playing Witcher this Wednesday because we had our finale.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find me on Friday with Trooper, and it'll be a super fun, awesome time.
It's just me a party. They're just going to a party.
It's going to be a party, and my character's terrible husband is there, and she can't be recognized by him, so it'll be fine.
Because he's a stalker.
He's the worst.
He's.
I have a
He's
question.
gross.
Is he worse
Okay.
than Filiberta?
There's no magic, so he hasn't done mind control.
Oh no.
But what about like control over one's life, like social life? Like he thinks he owns my character, and he doesn't, and he forced her to marry him, and he's pretty awful, and like he's not even competent. That's the worst part. He's not even like awful and competent. Like he's good at it. He's terrible.
He's
And
awful
he's
and
awful.
incompetent.
Awful and incompetent. It's like, oof, this guy. Yeesh.
Yep.
Worst.
Yep.
That's it.
And then last but certainly never least, hey Simon, how are you? How's Vishard?
Hello. Simon is good. Bishard is bad. But Bishard is determined now. I think it's gonna mostly be, I say now, but I think it's gonna happen over the course of the next day as we move to the nearest settlement, which is, I believe, my hometown in the Pavin Weald. If he's going to turn in the next coming weeks or whatever, he's got nothing to lose.
That means you're gonna tell Rika that you like her, right? So we can ship it. Is that what we're talking? That's what that was implying, right? You're just like,
Okay. The problem is, here's another thing about Vishard, is that he likes both Ritka and Delme.
yeah.
That he do.
Yep.
That he
Which,
do.
by the way, nice subtle moment between the. Oh, sorry, favorite moment, hand holding. I was like, oh.
I will also remind everyone that this is a setting where polycules are an entirely acceptable form of social relationships.
Yes, but he... Oh, no, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, if Vashard doesn't do something about it, something else is gonna happen somewhere.
Wait.
Delme just needs to grab Ritka's face and kiss her right in front of Vishard. We'll coordinate
my
this. We'll
gosh.
chat.
I
We'll
was
just
gonna say,
kiss
like,
right
it
all
all
the,
happen.
it's just gonna be
You know
all
that,
the
right?
kissing.
And then we both look at him.
The season
Like-
finale, all kisses.
Oh,
Russ is like two-leggeds. Ugh.
I was like, is there anyone here who doesn't have a crush on anyone not in the two-legged sphere? We're playing
see how
romantic
you are.
fantasy, y'all.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Why would you
think
pick
Russ
this one?
doesn't have feelings? Wow.
But you don't want us
Russ,
to
if it
smooch
helps-
you.
Delme has a platonic crush on you.
Aw. Really? I thought you thought I was annoying.
No.
Annoying hawk dad.
Delme
thinks you're
has never
annoying.
thought Russ is annoying. Delme
Aw.
loves Russ.
Aw. Russ loves Delme, but he doesn't want to say it because, you know.
Russ is Hawk Dad, but like in the good way. Like in the, oh, this is my grumpy dad, I'm a dad figure, I'm a fuck with him kind of way. Like, you know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you for
Simon,
that,
you were
Pooja.
talking.
Sorry.
Hi. So yeah, there's kind of a lot going on for him, but the thing is he doesn't think he's gonna survive. And if he does, he'll do whatever when he gets there. The thing is he gonna tell everyone about his crushes, multiple crushes? No, because that would throw the entire unit out of whack, and it's the last thing we need if we're going to face Lady Talis.
That's why we're friends. Repression. Yeah, that's good.
Delme has answers to this, but now is not the time for that.
So the thing is, it's going to eat at him from the inside and will probably alter his performance during the fight. Like impact it negatively, maybe, I don't know. But yes, it's better to bury things very, very deep and never let them out.
No
Because if you let
feelings,
them
never
out-
cry.
No,
Just, yeah.
people are gonna no, because if I say like to anyone, oh, I like you a lot, then Lady Talis is gonna kill them. So I
Right.
can't.
Yeah, I
but here's
wouldn't
the
know
thing,
anything about that.
She already knows because she went and did a total mind delve, so you might as well say something.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that's true. Lady Talis knows who your crushes are.
So
There's
might
a
as well say it.
part
That's true.
Yeah, but there's a
Might
part
kill him
of
anyway.
Vishard
Do you
that
want them to
doesn't.
die without having smooched you?
That's a good question.
The answer is no, but it's harder than you think. So, if I have to, wow, give love to anyone tonight, it would be the entire group again. I loved every little interaction that happened today. Um, and I was not expecting the session to go that way. So that was fun. That was fun and interesting. And I guess that we're gonna fight a vampire next session.
Or not.
Or not. As for me, you can find me over on Wandering DM tomorrow for Rime of the Frost Maiden. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, if you're interested in Pokemon, Digimon, or Monster Rancher, we are playtesting. Well, not playtesting actually. It's a promotion. We're playing Animon's Story, a game that is coming out on Friday. But if you want to see what character creation is like, that's on Wednesday, and then we'll do a one-shot on Thursday to show you how the game works and everything. And it is, oh my god, the cutest game in the world, and I fell in love with it the moment I read about it, and I'm fairly certain everyone will. It is super wholesome. It's a lot of, feels. A lot of feels and friendship. And that's going to be at 8 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday. And on Friday, we're going to have Cyberpunk. And then on Saturday, we're going to have Scion. And also, I was supposed to announce something last week, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. So tomorrow during the day, I will announce one of our new streams for starting late spring and then going on for a bit. I'm very stoked about it because I decided to raise the bar once again for the channel. So we're going to have that. And also, I'm not going to be directly involved with it, but you probably have seen the tweets going around the Twitter sphere today. Omen's Rising. So it's a game by Chris Geary and his team. They are doing, I think, Pooja, you're part of it, right?
Yep, I have written for the game.
What?
So, so they're playtesting it over on my channel for starting in next Saturday and for the next 2 months, I believe. You can come see the developers play the game, work out the kinks, answer questions, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. on Saturday evenings. And I am very, very eager to see what it's like. I only made one character for Omen's Rising, and that was like last year. And by last year, I mean like early to 2020. So I can't wait to see how it changed and everything. And that is all for me.
Well, thank you, Simon. I am looking forward to seeing what Chris and Pooja and all the rest of the crew over at Omen's Rising have come up with, and I can't check them out on Twitter because they are actually really kind of cool, and the game is really interesting, and I can't wait to see all of it. As for me, you know me, I'm at DearJadonlan on Twitter, or Plexigorth as me before you see me around here on Twitch, and, well, you'll see me next on Friday over on Simon's channel for some Cyberpunk Red. And then back here on Sunday for the Season 1 finale of Romance of the Blue Rose. We will be coming back for both more Witcher and more Romance of the Blue Rose. We're going to take a break for both those series. Going to come back in July, mid-July, after some real-world finagling. In between, however, in May and June, there's going to be a couple short things that are going to happen. We're going to do, in June, you might see some wonderful, perhaps, little glimpses into the minds of some interesting characters that you see on screen. Perhaps some things that happened in their past a little bit? But other than that, always check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, and all the fun, wonderful people like these fabulous folks who are all my friends that I get to play with and I get to hang out with. And until next time, see you on Sunday, everybody. Bye-bye.